Hey everyone, Mike here. Thank you for joining us on another FCP Euro DIY. Today we're going to be working on our 2002 Volkswagen GTI Mk4. Today we're going to be covering how to replace the engine air filter on your 1.8T equipped Mk4. This is going to be pretty standard for all the 1.8Ts, even some of the TDIs, they all share the same air box. We're going to be using our man filter. You can find this on the site. And you can see here, nice and new, it's got that extra layer of protection. Typically you want to do this change every 10,000 miles or once a year. It's going to depend on how often you drive, but if you're not hitting 10K, we recommend you do it at least once a year. For this job, you're going to need a couple basic tools. In our case, all we're going to be using is a Phillips head screwdriver. Our fasteners are Phillips head screws. Sometimes over time those may change. You might find yourself with a Torx bit or a small hex, so just take a look before you get started on that. Now we've covered what we're working with and what tools we're going to be using, let's head over to the car and get started. All right, my people, we're at the car. To get started, we have a couple things that we want to remove from this lid. For starters, we're going to unplug our mass airflow sensor. Usually with these clips, I like to push on the tab. I like to push them into the connector and then back off. It makes life a little bit easier. Set that over to the side. From there, we're going to undo this clamp. Usually this is like a constant pressure style clamp. You can use some pliers on them. Someone's fitted a normal hose clamp on there. So I'm going to take my Phillips screwdriver to remove it. That should be loose enough to free that up. From there, we have a little breather hose that connects to the side of our airbox lid over here on the engine side of things. So let's get that off next. To do that, you have a pressure point up top and underneath that you can't see here. You want to try to squeeze them as best as possible and then pop this off. Give it a little wiggle, helps, and off that comes. And then lastly, we have two fasteners on the firewall side of things that hold this lid closed. So again, with our Phillips head screwdriver, we're just going to free those up. These usually tend to be captured screws, so they stay with the lid. So you should be able to free this up, lift up, and remove. You can see our old filter. Pull that up. Not terrible. However, lots of crud in here that we're going to clean out before installing our new one, as well as ours has that extra layer of like a dust protection filter, if you want to call it. So it'll be a nice thing to change this out. With our airbox all cleaned out, we can go ahead and install our new air filter. This is going to face down. Our orange seal is going to be right up here where the two lids made up. Just place that in. Going to make sure it's nicely tucked in on all four corners. So again, that orange seal is going to tuck in nicely just on the inner lip of this outer edge of the bottom portion of our box. And then we can take our lid, and you have the four little tabs that go under each notch here to hook that back in. And at the same time, you want to feed it back into your intake boot. And just like that, we can put our two Phillips head fasteners back in. There's two. While we're in the same area, we can plug in our mass airflow sensor again. Just want to hear it click. Then you want to make sure your intake boot is seated properly, and then put your clamp back on. Again, this is a Phillips head hose clamp, but you may have the original constant pressure hose clamp. And then lastly, our breather tube just clips right back in. There we go. And there you have it, my good people. Another DIY in the books. Yet another simple job, however very rewarding, as you're making sure that your engine is breathing healthy. Again, you want to do this about every year or every 10,000 miles, depending on how you drive. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments on what we did today, leave those in the comment box below. And if you like this DIY and you want to see more like them, please consider subscribing. We make new ones all the time. As always, thank you for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.